To the Hodgepodge Podcast.
Hey guys, what's happening? It's Big Shrimp here. You're listening to Big Shrimp Radio with D Hodge and also the Hodgepodge Podcast. We have on the air a Big Smo. Big fucking Smo. What's up, brother?
Hey, it's not to correct you because you are right. It is Big Smo. But nowadays, it's just Smo.
It's just Smo, man. It's just Smo.
Oh man, I feel like an idiot, man. I'm sorry. All right, y'all.
No, it's okay.
It's like kind of like Diddy when he was Puff Daddy. He dropped off the Puff, and the Daddy just called himself P Diddy, and then dropped off the P. Now he's just Diddy. Kind of like that.
I'm just waiting till I can transform into a symbol.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Man. I wonder what symbol I'll be.
Well,
probably the shit emoji.
Nah, man. First of all, we got to identify what a Smo would look like, right? Like, what could be a good symbol for a Smo? And then, shit, I don't know.
Yeah, I think the shit emoji is the one.
Well, far from shit, my friend. You're far from shit. You're quite talented, funny, a hell of an artist, songwriter, and I dig your style, man. It's I'm a Tennessee native. Now I live in Johnson City, Northeast Tennessee, but Nashville is home. And Tennessee is that we're like a different breed of people in a way, and you represent us quite well, and I want to thank you publicly for what you do and for your art and for giving the world your art and letting the world know that Tennessee has some badass like country hip hop in a way. I love it. So thank you.
Yeah, man. Hey, you're very welcome. Thank you for listening. You know what I'm saying? Because without your ears, it wouldn't even be, it wouldn't be heard. So, it's fun to make music and to be creative, but it's rewarding to be able to represent something like your home state and your home people and a lifestyle that is in your blood. You know what I'm saying? Not something that you copied from somebody else, So for me, I'm just real proud to have been able to evolve and turn out the way that I did as a human being. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I've been very blessed to have a lot of really great people around me, a lot of talented people that help me express myself and help me rein in those concepts and those ideas about our Tennessee life and like put it into a song and then to get it out to the people. So, I've had, since I started doing music back in the late 90s, I've always had good people around me. So it's, I'll take the thanks and the appreciation, and then I'm going to go ahead and spread that to an entire team of people that's been with me for over the past 20 years. That has helped, maintain and grow and develop this Smo into not just a guy, not just a rapper, but an actual household name and a brand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real, man. You definitely you have a brand, and I love it. You talk about people that's been with you for 20 years. I'm curious to know if you had any haters in the beginning, and now if they've seen your success, they're trying to come at you and kick it with you. They're like, "Hey, man, I've been with you since day one," and you're like, "No, you haven't." Like, now that people know who I am, you're trying to be with me, but no, you weren't with me in the beginning. Like, you ever experienced any of that?
Oh yeah, there's always an entire list of people that want to take credit for what you've done and to claim that they've been there supporting you the whole way. But as the artist, just as the person, who's been there from day one. You know what I'm saying? And I don't, a lot of people, it's not even like day one sometimes isn't as important as yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Right. Sometimes it's the guy that showed up yesterday and gave it 150% and got more accomplished in that one day than somebody that's been lingering around for 20 years. So just because you've been around for that long doesn't mean you put in the work and that you've earned the credit, So, yeah, I've experienced that. But, also one thing that I've learned is that people require affirmation to just get by in life. And, sometimes I just let it slide and I let people have their make-believe affirmation because it doesn't devalue anything for me. And if it does something good for somebody else for them to think that they were a part of something, so be it. You know what I'm saying? It's really not that big of a deal to me because at the end of the day, like, I know how I got where I am right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember where the starting line was, and I've still got my eyes on the finish line. I haven't even made it there yet. And, like, every step of my journey, I know who was there. And it doesn't, it's like whenever the TV show came out, man, I had so many new cousins. It's like, oh yeah, man, I'm Smo's cousin. I'm like, who said that? And they're like, this guy right here. And I go over and I'm like, hey, bro, you ain't my cousin. He's like, oh yeah, man, I'm related to oh man, what's our, and I'm like, hey man, you stop while you're ahead.
Right.
Stop while you're still standing, and so while you're claiming to be my family. So yeah, it's that's just part of it, man. And the thing is like as you evolve as a person, especially in an industry like the entertainment industry, it's kind of like picking your fights. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to choose what to get your panties in a wad about. And over the past probably 5 years, I have really grown in my own head to where little things just don't bother me anymore.
No, I love what you said that your eyes are still on the finish line. You're not there yet. Like you've not arrived. You're still grinding. You're not satisfied. Because for real, satisfaction and complacency it leads to stagnation, and stagnation leads to death. So the fact that you keep on evolving and growing and learning and grinding, I love it, man. I love it.
Man, I'm 43 years old, and I work harder. I worked harder today than I did yesterday. Yeah. And tomorrow, I'm probably going to work harder than I did today, which is probably going to stress me out thinking about it. But you hear all kinds of things, man. And, going back to what I said, I'm 43 years old. A lot of people love to just talk shit about that. Like, wow, man, you're a 43-year-old rapper. Like, yeah, I don't control time.
Right.
Who
are they?
Nor did I have.
Who the hell are they?
Nor did I have a choice on when the fuck I was born.
Right.
So those two things are completely out of my fucking hands. The one thing that does remain fact is that after 20 years of busting my ass, I'm still busting my ass. And I can't wait to see where some of these motherfuckers that are just starting out now talking that 40-year-old shit are at when they're in their like fucking late 20s or their 30s. I'd love to see. I can't wait to see who fucking maintains the longevity of the haul. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh man, you're 43 years old and you're still rapping? Yeah, motherfucker, I'm still rapping circles around you. So, yeah, exactly.
That's it, man. That's it. It's like longevity. It's like, who the fuck is you? And you know what it is? As soon as they burn out, they're like, no, I'm done. I ain't getting nowhere. And they're going to be like, yo, man, there's Smo. My cousin Smo. My boy Smo.
Yeah, my boy Smo. Hey, Smo. You, man? So he's 60 years old and still rapping, man. I just turned 30 and I'm working at Nissan, you know what I'm saying, welding doors. And, but and that's just the thing. It's like, I don't really give a shit what other people say,
Right.
man. I'm to the point in my life where, dude, I've done so many things and I've accomplished so much. And you can take my career completely out of the equation. You
Right.
can just put on the board that I've survived 43 years and that I've raised 3 grown-ass daughters. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can just put that on the table and I'll call myself successful. But if
Right.
you want to throw my career in the mix, like I've done it all. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
like success has just been like just part of it. You know what I'm saying? Because the funny thing, and I was telling some people this the other day, they were asking me, I was like, man, how do you feel about being famous? And I was like, famous is kind of a weird word because you don't set out to really be famous. What you set out to do is be successful. And fame is just a byproduct of the success from the hard work that you set out to accomplish.
Yes.
Fame, being famous, that's some made up shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would rather you look at me and say, man, Smo's really successful rather than say Smo's famous because the only thing that I've done is accomplish my goals. And in doing so, it's created some sort of a persona that when people see me, they connect my level of success with my visual presence, and then they say that's being famous.
God damn.
So-
man. Yeah.
It's like, man, really famous isn't a real thing. That's just some made up word. What it is like being very successful at working towards your goals. That's what it is. So I had to explain that to a teenager the other day, and it looked like you would have thought that I had lobsters crawling out of my face. The way that they were looking at me, they were like, "Oh my God, I thought being famous was everything," and I was like, "Nah, it's not even real.
Yeah.
Like, being rich and famous is the last thing you want to aim for. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you want to aim for is being happy, successful, and having positive people around you. Like that."
Right.
Is a level of like that's an accomplishment that most people don't really get to achieve.
I love that. You know, a lot of people, you're right. People that are chasing fame and fortune, they chase it all their lives and never get it. But people that grind and want to be successful and want to, do the right thing, those are the people that more often than not, fame hunts them down. They're the ones that people are knocking on their door asking, "Yeah, you want to come do this or this and this," and not the other way around. People that just want it never get it. So
Exactly.
you're right.
And
Go ahead,
it's-
Hodge. I'm sorry.
no, it's all good. I'm just saying these are the kind of things that, like, are really important for me to share with younger people, upcoming artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you get it in your head early in the game that fame and fortune are not what you're chasing after, then you can be more open to like let's, for instance, the reason why there's so much hate in this industry is because everybody's fighting for the fame spot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they think that in order to be famous, you have to be at the top of some sort of make-believe totem pole. You know what I'm saying? But when you stop aiming for fame and you start aiming for success, it opens up your mind to be more collaborative with other people that are in the same mind space. And that is where you get more reward. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when you find out that legends can coexist and they can collaborate with each other. I mean, look at Kanye and Jay-Z.
There you have it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at, what was it? Save the Throne or whatever.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and before that, Jay-Z and R. Kelly, too, years ago.
Yeah. So it's like, when you move into that executive mind state, that Jay-Z state of mind, that's when you start, you're not in it for Jay-Z, he's already past fame and fortune. You know what I'm saying? Like now it is about life experience and leaving the legacy for your name, your brand. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I've found myself lately. in a place where I've evolved to that mind state, and just being in that state of mind, and letting that be my reality. You know what I'm saying? That's or letting that be what's real to me. That's made my reality, like a dream place that I'm at right now.
Yeah.
It's a really good place to be.
I love it, man. It's good to know you're in a good state of mind, for real.
Yeah, whenever I learned that your perception controls your reality, then all you have to do is be able to shape your perception. If
Right.
you perceive yourself as a good person, then you're usually going to feel like a good person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you do good things and you radiate that and you see yourself as a good person, then you're always going to feel good. But if you're like a fucking straight hater, or you're doing negative things in order to achieve a positive status in your life, then your reality is going to be that you're a bad person. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to reflect that. So I really wish a lot of people out here, especially in this industry, could learn these things, because it would make it an easier place to coexist with people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But man, it's really tough out here. It's a lot of hate.
Yeah, man, for real. I mean, you're preaching, man. You're preaching some straight up wisdom, and if folks need if they're anybody listening to this and you're not with it yet, you're not getting it, definitely
Exactly.
take heed to Smo's advice.
Yeah, you know, for your own happiness, not for my. I mean, it's not for my gain.
No.
I try to tell people, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really got to
Right.
control. You really have to control your life, man, because that's how you control the outcome. You know, we're all aiming for like happiness. You know, everybody wants to be happy. Nobody wants to wake up and say, "Man, I hope I have a shitty day today." You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Right.
but you have to maneuver in a way that reflects positivity in order to be a happy person. Like, if you're constantly going around here and you're trying to tear people down, like, there's no way for you to move into a good space in your own life. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Couldn't
It's
agree more.
impossible. It's impossible.
All right,
But,
Hodge,
so-
go ahead. My fault,
Yeah,
Smo.
well,
I'm sorry, bro. I'm just trying.
No, I want Hodge to run it.
Well, man, I just got some questions here some notes I want to go over. So you started back in, like, I think it was 98, 97, somewhere around there. And then in 2002, that's when you released your first album called Country Kitchen. Well, you released these independently pushed albums until around 2014. That's when you struck a deal with Warner Brothers, and then you released the album. One of your better albums, man. One of your greatest albums of country living. And along that same year, you got the TV show Big Smo on A&E. Was that what came first, the record deal or the TV show? Because I'm going on memory here. I think during the TV show you were getting a record deal, but I obviously know it's TV, so TV could be kind of persuading a little bit.
Right. Yeah, no, we had gotten a record deal first.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Actually, before the record deal, I got my pub deal with Sony ATV. So I copped a pub deal with Sony, and that locked me in there. And then I got the record deal with Warner. And then, well, even before I got the record deal with Warner, I got signed to APA. I was the first country rap artist to be signed to a major booking agency. So it was Sony, APA, Warner, and then most people don't know this, but the first TV deal was with VH1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so VH1 shot my first sizzle reel, and it was terrible. Like, they completely missed the entire idea that we had, and they tried to turn us into like some backwood redneck idiots. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when we watched the sizzle, I was like, "Oh, hell no, that's not gonna cut it." So I was like, "Okay, what's next?" And then CMT reached out and they said, "Hey, we want to take a stab at this, So they did the same shit VH1 did and made a mess out of it. And we were like, nah, we're not working with y'all. So after both of those, we realized that we couldn't let a production company write our story. So we had some people at A&E that were already interested, and we reached out to them and said, look, both of these networks have failed miserably, and it's because they're writing the story. You need to let us write the story. So A&E agreed to let me and my manager at the time both be the writers of the Smo Show. So what he wrote everything, and it was real easy because all I did was I worked off of my live calendar. So I had a calendar, and we were busy as hell already because we were cutting the album for Country Living. We were on the back end of it. We were because we released the album when the TV show came out. We used like the TV show as a big ass commercial to promote the album. So what we did is we were on the back end of filming or recording the album, and we started working on the TV show with A&E. Their sizzle reel was on point, so we used that kind of like as episode 1, and then we started chopping it up. Man, we did the whole first season, and released the album, and then I started working on the EP, Bringing It Home.
Yes.
And then we started working on the second season. And then that's when I had my open heart surgery.
Okay.
And then second season aired. I left Warner Brothers. No. Second season aired, and then I dropped We the People.
Right.
After the We the People album, I left Warner Brothers to go back to being independent because I wasn't going to do the TV show anymore. After the second season, me and my family, we just decided like that was a wrap. We're not doing that shit no more.
So can I interrupt you for a second and ask?
Yeah.
Was it just because I don't want to bring another reality star into it, but I remember Rob Dyrdek. He used to have a show called Rob and Big, and he did an interview once, and he was like, I had 6 bedrooms, and I only had a limited amount of space. He said I had this big house, this big 2-story house, had 6 bedrooms. I was only confined in my bedroom because the camera people had this room, the production crew had this room. Is that kind of what it was for you, or was it just like, okay, this TV thing is not for me?
No, it was the production. Like I'm on fire in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
But at the time, my daughters were. Let's see, my oldest daughter was a sophomore. My youngest daughter was like in the 6th grade.
Yeah.
So they were still, to me, babies.
Right.
I was with the absolute most toxic. I was in one of the most toxic relationships that I had ever been in, with the girl that was on the TV show.
Right.
Yeah, very toxic relationship, and which as soon as we were only married for 20 months. You know what I'm saying, and then we were divorced. So, complete nightmare of that, and it was just like a lot of bad stuff. You know what I'm saying? Open heart surgery. Like the open heart surgery happened right there after we filmed the second season. A lot of stress, man. Like that shit damn near killed me.
Yeah, I can only imagine because you see, like Hulk Hogan said, or did it best. With Hogan knows best. He just kind of his family fell apart because of the TV show, and I think that's kind of where these people sign up for. They think it's going to be cool, but in the long run, it actually cost them everything they had.
Yeah, because nobody is prepared for what they expect from you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just a couple of people with cameras. It's 23 people that are in your house from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., 6 days a week. They got 2 trailers. They got 2 full-size trailers, not that you pull behind a vehicle, but trailers that people live in. In my field out here, that's their production office. You know what I'm saying? My kids are being yanked out of school every other day so they can film scenes. So there was at one point my daughter being held back because of the TV show was something that was brought up by the school. As soon as that was mentioned, my daughter was done. She's like,
that's terrible.
I'm done. She's like, there's no way that I'm going to let this affect me graduating with the people that I've been in school with my whole life. She's like, I'm out. So that, and like, man, it was just, like on top of all of that, 2 seasons is fucking enough.
No,
because any more than that, you're going to start forcing and faking, and then people are going to say the same shit that they said about Duck Dynasty after season 9.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At that point, they're tired of looking at you.
Right.
They're like, man, this shit right here is so fake and this shit's so phony. So, like, to get the real reality shit, about 2 seasons is all that most people's existence has to offer Hollywood.
No, that's
you know what I'm saying.
And it's like, how can I miss you if you don't leave? And
the only way that you're gonna stay in love with me is if I bounce.
Right.
Because if I stick around, you're gonna wind up hating me.
Man,
and that's a tough reality, man.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and nobody thinks about that. And the other thing is, like, man, the TV show put a cloud over me that I have yet been able to blow away. Because as long as I'm not doing a TV show on a reality show that millions of people are watching, then I'm never going to be as good as I was to society as I was then. Everybody's number one question, man, what happened to your TV show? When are you going to be back on TV? Man, we watch your TV show all the time. I'm like, yo, it was only 20 episodes.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you mean? And it was 5 years ago. So, yeah, if you watch my TV show all the time, you got mental problems. You need to move. You need to move on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and hey, I'm very happy that it was a good TV show and people loved it.
Yeah.
But it was never anything that we really wanted to, like, be stuck in. You know what I'm saying? It was only supposed to be there long enough to get everybody's attention and say, hey, listen to this. And then once they listen to the music, that was the whole point of the TV show, was to get everybody looking at the music and then hearing the music and then saying, holy shit, I didn't even know there was such thing as country rap.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It was like a plug inside of another plug.
Yeah, man. And look what it did for the genre.
Oh,
it
100%.
blew up.
Yeah, man.
It blew up.
Nobody wants to give it that credit, but I know the fucking TV show put country rap on the map.
No, there's no doubt about it, because there's a lot of people that are only exposed to, they only know mainstream country or mainstream rap, but they don't know that fusion of the perfect combination of the two, and it's so cool, man, once they get it. I mean, so I'm curious about you in the show, once you got onto the show, how much creative freedom did you have, or how much was up to the directors and producers?
Well, as far as like the story, as long as we wrote the story, that's what was being filmed.
Okay.
Now, what they took, and this is how it happened. Production crew here on the farm films everything, takes it into that trailer. They hand it off to this dude that I never really spoke to. He then downloaded that onto hard drives and then went to FedEx and would FedEx the hard drives to Hollywood.
Oh, wow.
Then Hollywood would get these hard drives with all this raw footage on it, and then they would get our story that we wrote to go along with it. They would then sit there without us, who would never be a part of this process, and edit all that shit together and rub all that Hollywood on it. And then the next time we would see it, it'd be on TV.
Right. Right.
Yep.
How'd you like that?
That's where the control for us was in the front end, where we controlled what was filmed, what wasn't filmed. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And how did you like that?
It was great. Like, I was cool with it because, I mean, shit, I ain't never had Hollywood put their hands on my shit before.
True.
I had just I had just filmed, my own music videos in my backyard. You seen Kicking It in Tennessee. Like, we did that ourselves with a handy cam. So
yeah,
for me, and I had a huge passion for film and television. I wanted to see what Hollywood looked like with our background. So, we let them do that shit, and because we couldn't do that, and then, the TV show turned out the way it did, which was, it was cool to see what they did with it as far as on production wise,
Right. I want to talk about your music for a little bit. So take me back to 2014. The TV show's running well. I don't want to stick on TV show because I know you probably don't like talking about it all the time.
Nah.
I'm just trying to make it into like an illustration. The TV show's going strong. Country Living comes out. Your lead single comes out called Working. Play a little bit of that, Big Shrimp, and we can get and talk about that.
All right. Is that cool with you, Smo? Play a clip of your song?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here we go.
Attention. Money in the mason jar, country boy pitching. No lady, 3 kids, take a lot to fill the kitchen. Fingernails dirty, my back stay hurting. You can bet I got a plan for every penny that I'm earning. I ain't asking for a raise, but I know the boss serving. Nobody on this job site's working like I'm working. 30 below to 100 degrees. You ain't pushing hard enough and your hands don't bleed. I'm the first to clock in and the last to leave. And I ain't never had a problem rolling up my sleeves. Of this morning time I boots up, cause I knew it's gonna be a long day. Tie my truck up, grab my coffee, kiss my baby, and got on my way. Cause I'm working till it's hurting, and that's the only way to make it honest days pay.
Dang, man.
Tell me.
You were working, huh?
Yeah, we were definitely clocked in.
I got a question about that because you have been an independent rap musician, country rap musician. Being independent means you can use whatever you want to use, put whatever you want to put in there. So when you were signed to Warner, were there anything where they were like, okay, you can't have X amount of cussing, you can't have X amount of, like sexual innuendos? Did that ever occur with that song or just that album?
No, the only song that Warner ever really pumped the brakes on was a song that I just released on my new album, and I've been sitting on it for that long. And it was because they felt like it was too sexual.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but they never really pumped the brakes on creativity. And I never, like whenever they did throw that complaint at me, I never really dawned on, like I didn't really worry about it. I just kept it moving. You know what I'm saying? Put that song back in my catalog, and I told myself, I said, I'll just save this for later in life, which I did.
Nice. And so that song or your style, everything about you, Smo, is so unique that I don't think anybody could be impartial to you. People that know you either love you or they hate you, right? And
I mean, it's definitely a love. Some people love and hate me at the same time. It's really weird.
But so being a polarizing character or a polarizing person as you are, how do you balance, trying just to stay real and stay who you are, and just let the haters hate? How do you handle it?
It's kind of fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially as I explained earlier, the state of mind that I'm in nowadays, I don't really let anything get to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, Let me just say it like this. If you're hating on me, then you're talking about me, which means I'm doing something right. You know what I'm saying? So it's really just some affirmation for me that whatever I'm doing, it's working, because it's got people's attention. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be people that love what you do, especially if you really craft your art well. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
you know who your audience is, and you handcraft art for them. You're always going to have people that love you, but to have people that hate you, that really takes some internal fucking passion. Like to
Right.
hate someone, you have to really love someone to hate them. You know,
That's
like
good.
sure. You really got to give a fuck about somebody to hate them. It's almost like Kanye said it best. You know what I'm saying? I thought about killing you today, and I love myself way more than I love you. You know what I'm saying? I thought about killing myself today, so best believe I thought about killing your motherfucking ass. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you gotta give a fuck about somebody somewhere inside for you to even take the time out of your day and to take the misdirection from your goals to talk shit about somebody. Like you really have to somewhere inside give a fuck about them. So it's a psychological thing that most people can't wrap their head around, that when they're hating on somebody, that it's really just a different version of passion that you have for that person. Otherwise, why would you take your time to fucking talk about it?
Man, that's powerful. That's powerful. And I love it.
You know?
And you know,
So
man,
my haters are my best supporters, you know?
no, that's
Oh,
it.
100%.
Because if they're talking about you, hey, they're talking. That's advertisement, dude. Even if they say you fucking suck and somebody's never heard of you, they're like, he sucks.
Yeah.
And then you'll check you out.
Right.
There you go.
Who is this dude that sucks? And then when they listen, they're like, this doesn't suck at all. This
Exactly.
is fucking amazing. And then I have a lifelong fan because they were talking shit.
So
Now that,
Right.
you
yeah,
know?
that's justice, man. It's beautiful. But like,
So
what you got to
how
worry
I deal
about?
with it,
Oh, sorry, but no.
No.
I was just gonna say what you
How I-
got to worry about is if when folks aren't talking at all, when they just are silent, they don't care anymore.
that's when you know you're dead in the water.
Yeah.
You know, but and it's all good, man. A lot of people, when dealing with that passion of hate, they don't understand. They don't even understand why they do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Right.
an uncontrolled human reaction to, some sort of an emotion that they're having trouble with. So, it's like dogs growling at each other. You know what I'm saying? It's really just,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. you know?
Yeah. Big Trip, I want to tell you, and I also want to tell all our listeners, and also Big Trip, I want to tell Big Small, I want to tell you as well. A couple of years ago, the show was going strong, Country Living Without. You came to, close to where I'm at, you came to Petal, Mississippi. You might not remember, it was so long ago. But you played at this park, and you look at Big Smo and you're thinking, this is a behemoth of a guy. There's no way this guy can be nice. Let me tell you something. He met every single person that wanted to meet him after the show, gave a loving, warm welcome, signed whatever they wanted to sign, took as many pictures as they wanted to take. And you know, man, I have met a lot of people, and not a lot of them do that are in your situation. So I commend you for that. And also, it was a cool thing, thinking there's no way, you're going to meet this guy. And then next thing you know, he's coming over to his shirt booth. He's coming over to his merchandise table, and he's saying, okay, I'm here to sign whatever you want, take as many pictures, but as long as you take a picture, sign it, and leave. Don't keep hanging around. So I commend you on that. I really do appreciate that. I still have the picture hanging up on the wall, and I still have the autographed T-shirt that you signed. So I really am grateful.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I do that at every show. There's not a show that I don't go out to the merch table. And hell, now I go out even before I go on stage.
Yeah.
And I do this when people first come in, because my girlfriend, she's out on tour with me, and she's my merchandise manager. So for me to just go ahead and clock in with her when they open the doors, and we facilitate most everybody before the show, and then I go to the table after the show if they want to talk about the show or like share their experience, get another picture. I don't care if they've been through the merch line 3 or 4 times, man. If they're coming back through, I'm going to take another picture with them if that's what they want, sign something else. Like, for me, traveling the distance to get to the venue to do the show, that's just part of it. standing at the merch table and getting to know the people that actually give a fuck about what I'm saying, that's where the reward is for me. So going to the merch table and meeting these people and then, you know, giving them that experience, the same thing that you're talking about, where maybe they've watched the show or they've seen the music videos and they're like, man, there's no way I'm going to be able to meet this guy. And then, you know, then you watch me pull 10 kids up on stage and let them close the show out with me. And then I'm at the merch table and then you're like, holy shit, I can't, you know, like that's the reaction that I'm looking for, because that's where the reward is. You know what I'm saying? That's where you get those lifelong fans.
Making dreams happen, man. I respect that.
But anybody that doesn't do it is missing out. You know what I'm saying? It's not that they're gaining something by not doing it. They're missing out by not making themselves available.
Right. Big Shrimp, I want to tell you something. Me and you, we love barbecue. Let me tell you something. This guy had this I don't know if it was a barbecue sauce. It was some kind of sauce, and it was called Smo Mud. Let me tell you something.
Meat mud.
Yeah. What was it?
Meat mud.
Meat mud. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I got that wrong. But
it's a barbecue sauce that we've been selling for I don't know, probably about 6 years now.
But you still sell it?
Yeah. Yeah, I got cases in the house.
Oh shit, man! Where can we order some from?
Big Shrimp.
You can only get it on tour, only at the merch table.
For real?
Yo, it's an exclusive item you can only get at a smoke show.
Damn, dude, man, where you gonna be at?
Gotta go check out them tour dates.
yeah, for sure.
Big Shrimp. Let me tell you what it tastes like. I bought when I went, it was like $5, I think. And when I got it, I tasted it. It has like a sour, sweet, like kind of like a sweet and sour sauce that hits you with that tangy barbecue taste. If that's a fair enough analogy of what I remember from like 5 years ago.
Oh, you nailed it. That's it right there. It's the perfect blend of the sweet, the spice, and the tangy.
Yeah. Big Smo, I got something for you here. You said that you get asked all the time about TV shows and about this and that. But I want to ask you a quick question here. What is something that you've never been asked to talk about that you would just love to be asked to talk about?
That's a good one.
And whatever that is,
nobody ever wants to talk to me about movies.
Okay, man. Let's talk about movies. I'm a movie nerd.
Yeah, I'm a movie nerd.
Uh-oh.
So, what are some of your favorite movies of all time?
Let's see. Of all time, shit. Let's see. I'm a big horror movie fan. So,
me too.
In the genre of movies, let's just stay with horror movies. In the brand, let's go. I'm a big Halloween fan.
Okay.
And then, so out of the Halloweens, I'd say 1 and 2 definitely were my favorite, the originals.
Did you watch the new one that just came out probably 1 or 2 years ago, like Jamie Lee Curtis, an old woman?
I did, but I was in a real different state of mind when I watched it at the theater, and I need to revisit that. But I did watch it, and I don't remember being really impressed. Now, Rob Zombie 1 and 2 was very, very rewarding.
I want to give you a little information because I was just notified. I had a movie podcast on my podcast, and I asked them if they were confused, as I was on the new Halloween, about how all of a sudden Jamie Lee Curtis never had a son when she had one in like H2O or something like that.
Right.
And they told me that they took 2 through however many else they made. They took those out. You're just supposed to watch Halloween 1 from like 1970, 78, something like that, to 2018. So you're supposed to watch those back to back, and it's supposed to be a reoccurring story. So like she never went to the hospital. He never stopped her. No, apparently none of it's ever happened.
Yeah, the downside of that is that H2O is so fucking good.
Oh my God, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of my favorites with fucking is that Josh Hartnett?
Yes.
actress in that as her son. Yeah, that's the fucked up thing is that was one of the best like side ones that they had. With it had LL Cool J in it. I mean, come on, man. Bro, like you talking about one of the dopest cameos, and having Jamie Lee Curtis back in it, and Josh Hartnett, like that shit was off the chain. I love the shit out of it.
Yeah,
and the way that they shot that one, like color and everything, I remember being so impressed with the color of that movie, like the way that they finished that movie. The coloring on it, the color correction was phenomenal.
Let's see, Big Shrimp. I'm going to get that. I don't want to take over the podcast. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, man. You're a movie guy. Go ahead.
What's the last movie you saw in theaters that you remember?
Let's see. Theaters. I just went and watched. I watched Pulp Fiction in Colorado 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
We went to Pulp Fiction, yes. Because my girlfriend had never seen it all the way through. She's only seen it like up into the last scene, and then something happens. We have to stop watching. So they had the dinner theater we went to in Colorado where they acted out some of it on stage while you watch it.
Oh, nice. I've never seen it.
It was dope. So dope.
Yeah, I've got to see it. It's on my bucket list. It's one of those I'm going to watch. I've never watched it.
But the latest that I've watched on Vudu that I'd like to mention is Midsummer.
How was that? Because I've seen the trailer for it, and dude, it looks stupid. I'm not going to lie, no offense, but it looks stupid to me. How was it? Was it worth watching for a horror film fan?
It's not a horror film. It's a psychological thriller.
Oh, okay.
The trailer was very impressive to the point to where I wanted to dedicate an entire evening to watching this movie, and I did. And at the end of it, me and my old lady were both like, "That kind of sucked." We were
really
just the story, how it was shot, the shock value, like every single aspect about it was fire, like fire. But the story was missing so many like important plot points to like really tie it together. The story seemed so vague that it left a lot of things like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But the way it was shot, the location, the cast, like everything was so fucking dope, man. It's just the story was too vague for me. It needed more detail.
Right. Are you a superhero fan by any chance? Or anything like in that nature, like the Avengers or Spider-Man or anything like that?
I'm not into, I've never watched any of the Star Wars, and I'm not
me either.
Heroes. I like either raunchy comedies or horror movies.
And to me, the best raunchy comedies, those are, to me, the best raunchy comedy actors, in my opinion, would be like Will Ferrell, Jim Carrey, Ben Stiller, and Owen Wilson. In my opinion,
all those guys.
Those are my favorite. Like, I love feeling uncomfortable, kind of like The Office, where you got Michael Scott, where he steps on like the Gary Coleman or whatever it's called, the grill, and just the snow bacon and the awkwardness of that episode was just like, I love that stuff. I love the awkwardness.
Yeah, man, I love film a lot, and you know, in my stage of life right now, it feels like that's where I kind of want to evolve to. I've written a couple of like rough, not really scripts, but definitely like the full on stories, and I've got some really great ideas. Yeah. So I'd love to see that be where I take my future. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it would probably be more rewarding to me than just doing music, because you still get to incorporate music in the film by doing the score. So I think it would be the best of both worlds for me. I'd like to see my future wind up in the film industry.
I want to follow up on that. So let's say some dude with an ass load of money comes up to you and says, "Hey, man, I want to do this movie. I want it to be professional. be shot well, be presented well. We're gonna put a lot of promotion behind it. But I'm gonna let you pick what kind of film you want to shoot, what kind of character do you want to have. What is Samoa's fantasy movie?
We're gonna shoot my movie, The Shiner, which is a horror movie.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I've got the whole movie written out, and it's so dope. And I get to cameo in it as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't give any details just in case somebody that's listening, they're going to take that idea. I wouldn't say what
I
it's
wouldn't
about.
ask for the details. I was just asking what kind of movie.
Okay.
So you wouldn't want a star. You just want a cameo.
Yeah, no, I don't want to star in it. Well, I take that back. If today I was actually thinking about the movie, and I decided that if I could play the role of the adult Shiner, because you never actually see his face, then I would play that.
Ooh, man, that sounds intriguing.
Yeah,
so you kind of want to be behind the scenes, behind the camera, telling everybody, if you go here, you go there.
Yeah, I could be in both places. I work really well in front and behind the camera. Like it's not hard for me to like jump behind the camera and say, okay, this is the shot that we're going for, and then step in front of it and say action, and then me act out the part. Like that's what I started doing back whenever I was doing my own music videos, because clearly I couldn't be the one holding the camera. You know what I'm saying? If they were filming me, like one of my homeboys that doesn't know shit about filming at the time, and I'm like, yo, hold this camera, point it at me, make sure you don't cut my head off, and don't focus on like my feet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, you know, I got my homeboy, he was on the TV show, JJ. He would be over here, and I'd be like, here, hold the camera, film this. And now JJ is filming, he just filmed like a fucking Ford truck commercial, and he's doing some reality show in Nashville, and he's been out on tour with Jelly Roll doing photos and video for him, and Bubba Sparks, and some stuff with Yellow Wolf with his Creek Water. So I mean, that kid started in my backyard holding the camera, filming, you know, my videos for me. And then we'd take that shit, take it inside, put it on the computer, and edit it up. And, you know, we were doing all that shit ourselves. So the ability to film, edit, and color, effect, and export, you know, to a finished product, that's very, very doable for me.
Yeah. Is he still in your band?
No, Hayden's been out of the band for probably like 3 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, he got out and got into, I think he was driving Uber, and then he got married, or he started doing some like event coordination, and he got real big into that, and then he got married.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't want to jump at the subject, but you have a new book. What is the inspiration for writing this book? Because that's one reason why you're here to promote is your book. You're here to promote your book.
Yeah. The book is out. The book was very therapeutic. You know what I'm saying? Imagine putting your timeline down and then going back and reminiscing on every year of your life, the highlights of it, and the downfalls, and the struggles, and the good times, and, you know, the people. And it's just like, there's a lot. In 43 years, there's a lot. And
did you ever think you'd be writing a book at 43? Because when people are like, you wrote a book at 20-something years, you know, because I've written one, and they're like, you written one at 20 years old? I'm like, you know, I never pictured I'd be writing a book at 20, but I've had a lot happen to me in 20 years that I can have big enough for a book. You know, I figured, you know, maybe at 70 you'd have at least 700 pages, but, you know, at 20 or even 43, you do have a good, you know, a good enough story to tell.
Well, you know, just being here to still tell my story was the motivation. You know what I'm saying? I think that after having the close call scare with the open heart surgery, that's when you kind of realize, you're like, have I told my story? And then you're like, I don't think I told my story. I definitely don't want somebody else telling my story after I'm not here to back it up or to correct it. So it was more like it's like leaving your legacy. Your story is really, your life is really all you have while you're here. And what you did is your story. So if you're able to like tell that and leave that behind, and whether that entertains, inspires, pisses off, whatever it does emotionally to the reader, like that's the point. Leave your story behind. People can read it. I'll be dead and gone, and somebody could still learn who I was from birth to, to now, at least.
Right.
And, I feel like I've experienced a lot of things that most people haven't got to experience. And a lot of people ask me, it's no different than the conversation that we've had tonight. This conversation is basically, if you read my book, it's a more in-depth version of this conversation. You know what I'm saying?
So it's an actual. I haven't read it, and I'm going to. It's an actual autobiography. It's not like one of those that just have pictures and it just because I read Eminem's book and I was kind of disappointed because he just had pictures and would explain what that picture was.
No, this is an autobiography. This is from before my birth, my parents meeting, and then how I came about, and then my entire upbringing, and then how, a lot of people want to know, like, how did you wind up doing what you do? The book tells that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep.
I love that.
And it touches on a little bit of the TV show and the Warner stuff, and it touches on a lot of that stuff. But it's really more the things that like you didn't see. You know what I'm saying? With that, but it doesn't. It's very classy. You know what I'm saying? I just did the audio book this week. I just finished recording it actually last night, and reading it out loud. It was a lot. Is a lot different than just skimming through the pages. You know what I'm saying? Which I had skimmed the pages after we got the final book. Like the actual printed hardback book.
Right.
Skim through it. That's one thing, but like to sit and read it out loud, man, it's a really good story, and it's written really well. I had a co-writer that kind of like interviewed me for 2.5 years and gathered all the information and then wrote it down in kind of like a 500-page, paper. And then me and my girlfriend, we went through it and she rewrote it as an actual like story. So it was all done right here and at the house and the property and
at Country Ranch.
Yep, right here in the old Country Kitchen studio.
I love it.
I'm sorry I'm nerding out on you, man. I'm nerding out on you.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, the book is great, and it does have a lot of really good photos in it. And it's under, I think it's right at 200 pages. And it's written very easy to read. It's written at like a 7th grade reading level.
Right.
So everybody in Tennessee can read it. Alabama, really. But
Mississippi, man.
it's written so that it can be read real easy. And some people that have read it that do read books, they're like, man, I burned through that book in like 2 hours, and I'm like, good.
Right.
That's all the time I really want to take up out of your life. It's like a couple of hours. Like, here's my story. Boom.
Damn. I got to get it now. I got to get it.
Yeah, you can get it. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on books, Barnes and Noble. There's an ebook of it that's out. Whatever ebook.
What's the name
Apple
of it?
iBook. It's called My Life in a Jar. The Book of Smoke.
The Book of Smoke. I love it.
Yep.
So is that kind of like a play on words to like grassroots? Because remember the album Grassroots had like you holding like a mason jar.
Right. Yeah, it's got a mason jar on the cover.
Okay.
So
yeah, you'll like it, man. When you look at the book and then you look at the new album side by side, it's beautiful.
Ooh,
like
exciting.
The concept it's just fucking amazing. And the new album, man, is like, if you haven't wrapped your ears around that, the new album, This One's For You, is It's right there with country living, man.
Yeah.
It's right there.
I would say if you were going to go listen to just one song from that, my favorite would be like Ready to Fly. So like I would say go listen to that one first, my favorite, and go back and listen to the other album.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad that's one that stuck out to you. That's not one that. See, it's cool to hear that because to me it feels like Ready to Fly would be something that maybe might be somebody's like number 3 or number 4 favorite. You know what I'm saying? So that's good to hear. You know who else's favorite song that is?
Who?
No.
My mom.
Oh, nice.
Your mom.
She loves
your mom. Your mom. Is she your real business manager in real life, or was that just for like the show?
No, that was just for the show. And you know, anybody that really paid attention would have known that she wasn't a business manager. She was just where I kept my cash at. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Right.
I just took her all the cash and gave her cash. But, you know, I had my actual business manager was on the show, my manager that I had at the time, and then my accountant or my business manager. So, yeah, no, my mom, she's just, she's just the number one homie, you know?
Yeah, that's how it is in Tennessee, man. Our mom's just number one.
Yeah, always.
So I want to ask you, and I apologize for all the questions about the different things you've done over the years. There's no question that you're a recognizable person. Just even if you're not doing music and you're not writing, you're not doing, all the stuff you're doing. Just you stand out for sure. But add that with everything you've done and having a name now and having found success and you have a following. I wonder how you balance your personal life with this love you get from the fans. And also, I'm wondering, you have daughters, they were on the show. How do they cope with it, with everybody knowing their names all of a sudden, and having fans as well?
Well, my daughters are real hip to the lifestyle. So they knew that any kind of attention that they got from the TV show wasn't real.
Right.
For them, they weren't even themselves. If you asked them, they would tell you that they were playing a character on the TV show because we had like a real educational talk before we got into that about how none of this is real.
That's smart.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's smart.
We were like, look, even though it's our real life and it's our real home and it's our real friends and our real family, what people are going to see is going to be a Hollywood makeup version of that. So don't think that that's your real life that you see on TV. So they knew that before we even started. So they didn't fall victim to like fake friends. You know what I'm saying? If anything, it just kept them on their toes more. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like they were more of like, if new people came around them at school, they would be like, yeah, they wouldn't say it, but they'd be like, well, these people are clearly just trying to be my friend because of the TV show. But they've been going, it wasn't really a problem for them because they've been going to the same school since they were in kindergarten.
Oh, wow.
It's like a K through 12. So for them, like the kids that they grew up with, they've been knowing since they were like 5 years old. So by the time they were on the TV show, all of their friends were genuine friends.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know what I'm saying? People that they already knew. So nobody really treated them different. They were just like blown away that we were like us country folk out here in the middle of nowhere were on TV. You know, and we incorporated the school. Like, you know, the school was real supportive, you know what I'm saying, with my kids and everything. And, you know, we filmed my daughter going into her first dance and stuff. So we had a lot of school oriented things because that's what was really going on in their life. You know what I'm saying? So to keep it as real as possible, that's what we did. She had a school dance coming up, and we were like, all right, we're going to make this part of the story. So I wrote it in, and, you know, that's what it was. So the reality show, not to just stick on it because, yeah, I do fucking hate talking about it, but it is a big accomplishment for me. And I am very proud of how real we were able to keep the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
Like, if you ever film television or if you ever get to see behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? Even something that's unscripted. Once you have to film that more than once they're like, okay, that was good, but let's do that again. And this time, like, emotionally, let me get some excitement. And then you got to say the same thing again. Like, man, I can't wait till we get to open for Leonard Skinner. Well, now that has become mentally scripted. So It's like, you know, when you have to repeat yourself, now that does become in your mind something that's scripted. But we never had script, you know, we never had lines that we read. And, you know, we were like, okay, we got to walk in and say this. You know, we just said, here's the situation, action. And then we walk in and be like, hey, what's going on, y'all? You know, and then it would be, that's what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
So it was just you know, it was really cool to be able to do that shit. And I'm as difficult as it was and as like trying as it was and stressful and shit, I wouldn't change a thing about it because I learned so much from doing that TV show, not only about TV and production, but man, I learned a lot about myself, you know?
I love that.
Yeah.
And I love that you sat your daughters down and had that talk with them. You know, that definitely helps. I think it helps them to keep straight head on their shoulders because it's easy, especially for young people, once they see the lights and, you know, and then they go to school and then see people that weren't friends before all of a sudden want to be friends. It's easy to get caught up in that, and to have parents sit them down and explain, you know, hey, it's what it is. I mean,
that's a mind fuck. That's a mind fuck for a teenager, man. Like
real.
Acceptance and attention is like, it's like a drug.
That's why all these child stars do get fucked up in life once it ends.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it is because
nobody's built for this shit, man. Like nobody, like record executives, television network executives, production managers. These people will chew you up and spit you out because at the end of the day, they don't give a fuck about you. They give a fuck about a finished product.
Yeah, it's just the money, man. You're just a conduit for the money. That's all you are.
That's it. And once you realize that, that's when, and this goes back to our conversation earlier, once you realize that you're just being used to be a conduit to make more money for other people, that's when you start realizing that money's not the best thing to be focused on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I promise you, when they say more money, more problems, that was a motherfucker with some money that said that. That wasn't, let me tell you, that wasn't some broke-ass motherfucker that came up with that. That was somebody that had a lot of bread, and they were like, man, I can't wait to be rich because life is going to be perfect. And then they got a bunch of money, and it was the worst thing ever.
Right.
I mean, it really is, man. Like, and I ain't never had no stupid money, thank God. But just whenever I saw a little bit of successful money, I watched how many people snarled and growled and scratched for it. You know what I'm saying? I've been done dirty by management and all kinds of people, man. And like, it's all been because of money. And when you see that,
that's what I tell people. I say there's only two things in this world that has the power to kill, to destroy it, to people die for it, people kill for it, people betray you for it. It's pussy and money. It's only two things. And that's it.
Definitely money. And I would just encourage, like, anybody that's listening, man, just like, you know, give it some thought. You know, like, we all got bills to pay. I get it. And we always want to be comfortable. I get it. But some of these things, man, are just not necessary. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like some people are just out here, they're overdoing it, you know. And one day they're gonna wake up and they're gonna realize that all this stuff doesn't matter, and the things that they could have done with their money to make a difference in other people's lives is the kind of thing that lasts forever. So, like, it's not a bad thing to work hard and get money. It's really like what you do with your money that makes you who you are. You know, it's not the money that makes you; it's what you do with it.
That's it.
Right.
That's it. And a lot of people, their inner character is revealed once they get a little bit of it. You know, but
Oh yeah.
so I mean, are you able to like just go out and be chill out in public, or do you have to like, you know, keep your distance because of who you are?
No, I go out and do whatever. I don't care if somebody recognizes me. I encourage them to come up to me and talk to me. I go to Walmart. I can't get out of there for an hour and a half because I bump into everybody. And they're like, "Hey, what's up, Small?" And I'm like, "Hey, what's going on? What are y'all up to?" Because I'd be high anyway. So if you catch me at Walmart, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be like, "Hey, what's up, man? What y'all up to?" And they're like,
Right.
"Oh," you know. So I'm just a real, like, people person, and there's usually enough to talk about, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is like, I really like to talk to people. There's not enough person-to-person communication going on in the world anymore.
No.
Everybody's fucking texting
That's it.
and going, you know, it's like fucking, you got to go face to face over a cell phone. You can't get there's an algorithm that you can't get unless you're face to face with someone. You know what I'm saying?
No,
And
exactly.
I really like personal conversations. You know what I'm saying? Face to face. I like to feel the emotion of the conversation. So I don't mind going out and talking to people. It doesn't bother me. And people recognize me all the time. The only thing that I don't like is whenever I'm eating dinner with my family and somebody comes up and says, "Man, I don't want to bother you, but," and then I look at them and say, "But you just did."
You just did.
And they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit!" And I'm like, "Yeah, walk away."
Uh,
It's like you see me eating with my family here, fuck off for like 30 minutes. When you see me going to pay for the bill, hit me up or meet me outside and just say hi. But like, don't come up and interrupt me while we're ordering fucking cheese dip, man. I want this cheese dip.
yeah, you don't want to spit all up in your food and spit off in your face.
I want this.
mean,
Like I got this cheese dip. Gee, I don't want you at my table right now. Wait till I'm done. You can get a handshake with a cheese dip on my fingers.
man, that's the rule I follow. That's the rule I follow. If I ever see somebody out that you know, I want to say hi to or get a picture with or whatever, and I got this from Bobby Bones, my dude Bobby Bones, that if they're with
hero, man.
if they're eating or if they're with their family, you know, it's best to let them be, leave them alone.
Yep.
Other than that, you know, as long as, I mean, you can tell usually somebody's pissed off, if somebody's just not in the mood, then you probably should leave them alone.
Yeah. Yeah, if I can read your body language and you got "fuck off" written all over your face, I'm not fixing to stop you in your path. I'm
Hey,
gonna
I
let you
get a
keep
picture
walking.
while you're pissing off, man.
Yeah. But if you look like life is good, like, because I know sometimes I need to hear from somebody like, "Hey man, I really appreciate your music. It got me through some really hard times in my life."
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Because of you, I've been able to turn my life around and I'm doing really good now. There's days when I need to hear that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm having a terrible fucking day. And I need to be reminded that I do good things for people out here in the world. So, like, I encourage people to stop me.
No doubt, man. I love that. Your genuineness, man. Genuine and realness. I think that is something that's missing, not just from people in the know, but just period in life. Life is, because of social media, I think, and because everybody has a voice now on the internet, that life is filled with contrived emotion, fake perceptions, and people trying to be stuff they're not. And the fact that you are able to stay real, stay who you are, and at the same time present that to the world in your art, and still be able to be cool enough that you recognize people that appreciate you and you appreciate them for appreciating you. Kudos to you, man, because that is a rarity.
That is that success that we talked about. It's just been what I've been working towards. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Full circle happiness, good life experiences, no toxic people. And you know what? If people would just exercise the golden rule a little bit more day to day, humanity might be a smidge better. Because I guarantee you, people that are out here doing stupid shit to people, they don't want stupid shit done to them. So I try to preach the golden rule, and that's about the only book. That's about the only rule in my book. You know what I'm saying? Do unto others as you have them do unto you, and everything's gonna be Gucci.
That's the best one, 100%. Man. I mean, don't matter. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter what you believe in life, what your philosophy, religion you might ascribe to. That's the core of humanity, and if you do that to others, treat them the way you want them to treat you, you treat others the way you want to be treated. I mean, that's just common courtesy of living, sharing space with someone else on this planet. And if you do that, people would do that, be more mindful of that. You're right, man. There'll be a lot more peace, a lot less fighting, a lot less bitching, a lot less beef, and people would actually be able to live in harmony.
Hey, we might actually fucking get somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Instead of walking in these dumbass circles. But people's focus just isn't where it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? And it's not my job to fix that. It's just my job to fix that in me. So that's all I can do is address those things in my own self, try to fix where my flaws are, and maybe it becomes contagious and people pick up, Yeah,
that's people notice. They'll notice. And people are hungry for something real because the fake has dominated for too long. And so, they notice. And people can't deny it. They can't deny what they see. Maybe at first they question it, but when they see it's consistent, consistency is everything. And once they see it's consistent, man, that's when they're drawn to it,
Yeah, and that it's real. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some things you just can't fake,
Not at all. Hodge, jump in here.
Man, I'm good. I'm just worried that I don't want Smo to miss anything because we went over an hour.
Oh no, it's all good. I'm sitting here working the grill. I'm about to go in and have dinner.
What you having?
With grilled chicken and vegetables. That's my staple. You know what I'm saying? After my heart surgery, I've been doing. That's why I dropped the big and just stick with the Smo. I've lost 100 pounds in the past 4 years.
Man, congratulations!
Yeah, man.
Congrats, man. Hell yes.
Trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle. You know what I'm saying, and just keep everything positive, keep everything moving. So. I want everybody, to go and check out the album. I want everybody to go check out the book. If you are interested in coming and seeing a show, I don't have many books throughout the rest of the year because I don't work as much towards the end of the year. I take time off and go on vacation and enjoy life.
Right.
But go to my website, therealbigsmo.com. Go to the store. Check out the swag that I got. We got new shirts, keychains, beach balls, hats, all kinds of weird shit. The new album's got some great features on it. I got DJ Paul from 3-6 Mafia.
Nice.
I got Afro Man. Got Colt Ford, Lenny Cooper, Cypress Springs, Tommy Chain. My good friend and the producer of this record, David Ray.
Damn.
From Eye for an Eye. He's on several of the tracks with me, and it's just like a real positive album.
Now, where can we get it
I don't want to interrupt you. but I got a quick. You said Cypress Spring. Are you talking about Tyler Ackerman?
Yeah, Tyler Tyler.
That's my boy. Yeah, that's my boy. He's in my pocket for a cool dude. My boy.
Oh shit, he's gonna be with me tomorrow. He's flying in from Ohio, and yeah, he's gonna hop in with me in the bus, and we're gonna drive down to Georgia and meet Tommy and Kaylin there, and we're gonna shoot the video for My Neck of the Woods, which is featuring Tommy Chang.
Nice.
You're also buds with one of my good friends, Ryan Upchurch.
Oh yeah, man. He just dropped his new album. Shout out to Upchurch for
pretty good, man. Been on my podcast as well. We're good friends.
Yeah, man. Great people.
Damn,
Great,
man. I got Smo's biggest fan on the line with me, dude. I didn't even realize it. Man, I'm sorry, homie. I didn't know he was gonna be all geeked out over you.
No, it's a beautiful thing, man. Knowledge is where it's at. I'm glad that he's paying attention.
Hey, for real. So, yo, where can we get your music from?
I would encourage people to go to my website. You can buy the album there.
Okay.
You can get it at Walmart. Some Walmarts, it's supposed to be in like a bunch of them, but it wasn't in my Walmart in my hometown.
Mine either.
Yeah, Walmart is on some bullshit. I don't even really know why I give a fuck about a distribution deal, because it's not like the shit gets distributed right.
Right.
So, it's at some select hidden fucking Walmart. I listen to Spotify. It's on Spotify. If you subscribe to that, a lot of people listen on YouTube. I don't think that they have every song on YouTube, but I know there's a few of them on there. Apple Music, of course, just wherever they got music. But the thing is, you got to look it up under SMO.
All right, there you have it, folks. It's at therealbigsmo.com. Yeah,
therealbigsmo.com. Go to the store, get the CD, get the album. You can get them autographed if you buy them from the store. So,
why did The Real? Did somebody try to get Big Smo or something, or were you just?
That's a real funny story. I'll give you the quick version. Back in 2010, whenever I first met Brahma Bull and Jackie Strickland, Bottleneck, they drove up from Florida. They were double wide back then. And they drove up from Florida to do a record with me. And they brought the guy that owns the Hick Life clothing company, Sean Morris.
Uh-huh.
Now, that petty motherfucker, while he was here at my farm, asked me if I had BigSmo.com yet. And I was like, no, I haven't bought it yet. And he turned around at that very second, bought my .com while he was on my property out from under me.
Nah, fuck
and then
that,
tried
dude.
to sell it, and then tried to sell it to me for $30,000. So told him to suck a whole dick, and then I bought therealbigsmo.com because there is only one.
Man, that is fucked up. That's it. People. I don't know. Dude.
Hey, I hate to put somebody out on blast like that, but when you do fucked up shit, people need to know about it. Which is why I don't perform the song Hick Life, or that I don't promote that clothing line, because it's owned by a fuck boy.
Okay. Damn, man. Well, hey, I'm glad that you were able to recognize it before he got you.
Yeah, no, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? You learn like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was one of them early lessons that I learned. That, a lot of the times when people are asking you questions, they're asking for different reasons. They're not asking because they give a shit to know. They're asking because they're trying to steal your blueprint. So,
right. They want to know how they can fuck you over. That's it.
Well, got to be careful out here. Careful. Yeah. But yeah, man, I appreciate everything, guys. I'd love to be back on your show anytime. Just give me a shout and let's make it happen. I really appreciate all the love, man. Too.
Yeah, for real. Thank you for coming on.
You,
and we would definitely hopefully have you back on some other time. And folks, Big Shrimp, D Hodge, and Smo, y'all keep it breezy and have a good day. Until next time, we're signing off.
This podcast is brought to you by Hodgepodge Productions.